And then, of course, this all sounds very convincing, right? For anyone who doesn't have any medical knowledge whatsoever, right? For the common person, this sounds like it makes sense. This sounds like it could be believable, right? But a lot of the medical community already have reasons as to why you would find a body like that.
Me imagino.
You know what I mean?
Like, of course. Me sorprendería si no le hubieran encontrado la explicación. Like, hello.
Si no se dan cuenta, se llama sarcasmo.
So,
Bueno, ¿cuál es la explicación? ¿No dijiste?
Okay, so I'm trying to find the explanation because it's in one of these many packets.
¿Sabes a qué me recuerda? A mí cuando estaba cogiendo el examen con un montón de notes y no encontraba el de la pregunta que estaba buscando.
I know, right?
Yo me acuerdo cuando yo fui el jueves por la noche. Este examen, ella estaba cogiendo un examen final. Y yo abro la puerta donde ella estaba cogiendo el examen y habían papeles por todos lados. Yo me quedé, ¡diablo!
I think, yeah, the medical explanation is that sometimes blood... Okay, I don't want to say that, though. I'm trying to summarize it based off of what I remember, but I don't want to say something inaccurate, you know what I mean?
Pero está bien, porque eso es lo que hacen los científicos todo el tiempo.
The level of disrespect. Alright. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm not doing any research with weird shit like that.
Eso dicen todo.
¿Sabes qué tipo de criaturas se encuentran por allá escarbando en piedras y volcanes?
Well, I'm not going to be digging. You don't dig into a volcano. That's a fast way to die. Okay? Don't do that.
Ya lo coge todo muy literal.
Okay. So, pathology. Okay. This is where it is.
La explicación.
The pathology of a vampire, right? So, decomposition. I think people need to know a little something about the way that bodies decompose. Okay?
Oyiste.
So, the author, Paul Barber, right, he stated that belief in vampires resulted from people of pre-industrial societies attempting to explain the natural,
judging and discriminating,
but to them inexplicable process of death and decomposition. People sometimes suspected vampirism when a cadaver did not look as they thought a normal corpse should when disinterred, right? Because you expect it to be completely wasting away if it's after some months. However, bodies, there have been studies done in places like where it's cold tundra type areas. They lay out dead bodies and they put up a little marker so that they know who's who and everything like that. And then the medical staff study them to see how the process of decomposition works for different bodies. Right?
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's gross, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? You have to see. So, if you donate your body to science, this is probably the weird shit that they're going to be doing with it. You know what I mean? Just be aware of that. So, rates of decomposition vary depending on temperature and soil composition. That's one of the things.
Cuando yo me muera, le venden mi cuerpo a los científicos. No se lo dones, se lo vendes.
Sell it? I don't know if you're allowed to sell someone's dead body. That feels vaguely illegal. You know what I mean?
Y si yo lo dejo escrito en mi testamento?
I wonder what the hell kind of money they would give us.
Like, look at me.
They'd probably look at us and be like, "Are you serious? You're selling a body when I can get one for free?" You know what I mean?
It's my body.
But yeah, and many of the signs are little known. This has led vampire hunters to mistakenly conclude that a dead body... There's vampire hunters.
I want to be a vampire hunter.
To mistakenly conclude that a dead body had not decomposed at all, or to interpret signs of decomposition as signs of continued life. Here's the explanation. Corpses swell as gases from decomposition accumulate in the torso. That's one of the things that people should keep in mind. You know what I mean? And the increased pressure forces blood to ooze from the nose and the mouth. Right? This causes the body to look plump, well-fed, and ruddy, changes that are all the more striking if the person was pale or thin in life.
You know what I think about that explanation?
Yeah, you think it's... So, yeah, darkening of the skin is also caused by decomposition. The staking of a swollen, decomposing body could cause the body to bleed and force the accumulated gases to escape the body. This is going to be really dark. You guys are going to have to just sit through it, right? So,
¿Qué cosa?
I heard stories of when people, like, kill themselves by hanging, right?
Ajá.
that sometimes when you untie them, they make a noise like they're still alive, but that's all the air leaving their body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what they're saying basically this is. When you stab them, any gases that are trapped in them escape and make sounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then people thought that was like the vampire groaning in pain or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the other things, you know?
¿Qué más?
After death, the skin and gums lose fluid and contract, exposing the roots of the hair, nails, and teeth, even teeth that were concealed in the jaw. Hence the sharp teeth that
Ay,
vampires
por
supposedly
favor.
have.
Dientes que nunca salen en los rayos X que le hacen a los humanos. Get out of here.
They do come out in your x-rays.
No, they don't. You don't have those teeth there.
What?
Que salen dientes que no estaban después y dicen que estaban
No, en
ahí.
el sentido de que crecen.
Okay, it looks like they're growing because I don't know if you. Okay, so I didn't know this.
O sea, yo no
until
tengo
recently.
ningunos colmillos acá arriba que cuando si esto se me descomponga me
Let me
van a
talk.
salir.
All right. So that's because humans, generally speaking, only have two sets of teeth:
And
the baby
vampires,
teeth and then the adult teeth. The problem is that your tooth takes up way more space in your jaw than you see. It goes into your gum. You know what I mean?
Yo sé.
And so, when the gum starts shrinking, it looks like your teeth are getting bigger. You know what I mean?
Es porque esta área aquí se muere.
Ok, no es que dicen que le salen los colmillos.
No, no.
Eso es lo que piensan la gente.
Yeah,
Stupid.
because in the old days, people, when they say, see, they exaggerate in Hollywood movies, your teeth, like, the teeth of a dead person do not get that sharp after you're dead. You know what I mean? Which is where the original vampire idea came from. You know what I mean? They stay exactly the same amount of sharp as they were when you died. The only thing is that it looks like there's more of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ok, pero entonces ella lo que dice no es que cuando se descomponen le están los colmillos.
No.
No, es que se notan más.
Es que se nota más largo el diente.
Yeah.
Ok.
Have you ever seen a human skull? Shit's scary. You know what I mean? We don't look half as terrifying as we could. You know?
It's pretty.
And then there are some animals that
por
have
ahí.
like extra sets of teeth too, but I'm not gonna get into that right now. Anyway,
Cuando yo me muera no voy a tener ningún diente.
yeah, because I'm very enthusiastic about animals and animal behavior, so if I get into that, I'm never gonna shut up.
Tú y yo no nos podemos convertir en vampiros.
No vamos a tener dientes para morder, nos morimos de hambre.
Yeah, if you don't have teeth, I imagine that there's not gonna be anything.
Ay, qué pobrecita la vida de un vampiro sin dientes.
What? Are you feeling sorry for them? They come out to kill you.
Mi amor, they're gonna
Okay.
starve.
Imagínate.
Me da una cara de reír y pena al mismo tiempo. Que me va a dar tanta pena que me voy a cortar un poquito y le voy a exprimir la sangre de la boca.
Oh my god. You guys are insane. Jesus Christ.
You guys, no, a mí no me vuelve. En esa no me vuelvo.
So,
No.
You guys are boring.
¿Cómo que you guys? Ahí otra vez generalizando. ¿Qué? ¿Qué pasó, mi gente? Mira, si te gusta nuestro contenido, suscríbete, dale a la campana para que estés pendiente de lo nuevo que vamos a traer a cada ratito. Entonces, si tienes alguna historia, algún comentario o algo así, envíala desde mi balcón 2023 @gmail.com. De nuevo, desde mi balcón 2023 @gmail.com. Y gracias, mi gente, por escucharnos.